Hi everyone, my name is Karen. This is my channel RatherBeReading, and today I'm bringing to you a reading vlog. Hi guys, what time is it? It is 4:32 p.m. on Saturday the 24th of November. Welcome to a new reading vlog. No car clip today because I didn't need to go to the library. I had nothing to return, nothing to pick up. So I haven't driven anywhere today, so no car clip. So it's Saturday, so it's the weekend, which is fabulous. Weekend plans, I kind of mentioned in the last clip of the last vlog that I didn't have anything going on. However, I forgot to mention that I am actually going out to dinner tonight for my mother's birthday. It's my mum's birthday on Tuesday. And so we're going out to dinner tonight. We're actually going to a Thai restaurant, and I don't like Thai, but it's not my birthday, so it'll be fine. So I thought I'd film this clip for you because my parents are picking me up in 25 minutes and I still need to get changed and get ready for dinner. So I thought I'd film this clip now because I'm planning to wear black jeans to dinner, new black jeans that I got recently, and I don't want to put them on until I know I'm not going to sit down again, because as soon as I sit down in them, they will be covered in cat hair. So I wanted to film this clip first so that I didn't have to sit down again. So, yeah. So dinner tonight. So this morning I went out for coffee, and since I've got home I really haven't been doing anything. I've kind of had today as more of my relaxation day, and then tomorrow I plan to get a lot done because I still haven't been feeling the greatest. If you saw the last couple of clips of my last vlog, I had a migraine for the last couple of days. I still have a headache, and yeah, just not feeling the greatest still, but so yeah, I spent today relaxing mostly, and then I need to get a lot done around the house tomorrow. So tomorrow will be my more do things day of the weekend. And then tomorrow, because of my do things day, I'll do that because I don't have anything going on tomorrow at all. I don't think. I might go around to my parents for dinner. I'm not sure if that's a thing that's happening or not, but it's possible. So reading update. So to update you, because this is the first clip of the vlog, I was halfway through an audiobook last week that I didn't end up finishing. That is The Bookshop of Yesterday's, that I didn't end up finishing because I ended up having those 2 sick days from work. So I'm halfway through that, but I won't be finishing that till I go back to work on Monday. And then the physical book that I'm reading is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. So I was about 30 pages in, I think, when I checked in with you guys in the last clip of the last vlog. I read about 20 or so more pages of that before I went to bed. So I was about 50 pages through, and I've read about 70 pages today, so not a whole lot. I'm currently on page 122. So for those of you who don't know, because I mentioned it in the last vlog now, this is a historical fantasy that follows this circus, hence the title. And as it says on the back, the circus arrives without warning. No announcements precede it. It is simply there when yesterday it was not. So it's this magical circus that just turns up places, and from what I understand, the main part of the story that we're following is that there are 2 people who have to undertake this magical fight, a magical duel, and that's the main point of the story from what I understand. I am loving this. I mentioned in the last clip of the last vlog that the introductory chapter is one of the best introductory chapters that I've ever read. The writing is so good. This is Erin Morgenstern's debut, I believe, and I believe her only novel that she's published, and this was published in 2012, I want to say. Yeah, 2012, and her writing is just fabulous, and that's definitely what I've noticed in what I've read since I last spoke to you guys, is how good the writing is, because not necessarily that much has happened in the plot. We're slowly moving through things, but in a really enticing, intriguing way. And the language and the way that she's managing to set up this story is just frankly amazing. I can't believe that she hasn't published anything since this, because this is such a well-written book, her writing, and for this to be a debut, it makes me if I ever wanted to be an author, which I did when I was a teenager, reading this would make me go, oh, maybe not, because I could not compete with this level of writing. Her writing is, and this is the first thing she ever published, and I think I've heard that she wrote this during NaNoWriMo, which for those of you who don't know is a month of November, which we're actually currently in which people attempt to write an entire novel in a month. So the goal is to write 50,000 words in a month, and I believe that is where she wrote the majority of this. Obviously, it would have been like edited and such afterwards, but to write this book in that kind of quick time frame and for it to have the language and the beautiful like words that this has, like, is amazing. Really, really enjoying this. Looking forward to continuing on with this and kind of seeing where we're going to go. This is an almost 500-page book, and like I said, I'm only about 100, I'm on page 122, so I've got like 370 pages of this still to go. And that's it, I think. Yeah, I think that's it. That's the reading update, weekend plans, and what I've been doing, which is nothing. What I've got coming up, a whole lot of nothing. And yeah, hopefully I can get, like I said, I've got dinner. I should be home. Like, I won't be home super late. And then hopefully I can get a little bit more read. I'll probably like watch a movie or two tonight, and then maybe read a little bit more of this. Definitely at least before I go to bed. And then hopefully, because I'm planning to clean and tidy tomorrow, I normally, as I've mentioned a bunch on this channel, can get quite a lot read while I'm cleaning, because I do my cleaning in like short spurts in amongst reading. I normally like watch YouTube videos while I'm cleaning, and I'll clean for like 3 videos worth or something like that, and then I'll read a chapter and so on and so forth. So doing that, I can typically get through a bit of reading. So hopefully I can get through a chunk of this tomorrow, because I'm really, really enjoying it. So that's it, I think, for this clip. Yeah, for the first clip of this vlog. I will talk to you guys tomorrow and hopefully be able to give you an update on how much of the Night Circus I've been reading. Bye, guys. Hi, guys. It is 5:05 p.m. on Sunday, the 25th of November. Been having a pretty lazy day today. I've done a few things, but not as much as I wanted to accomplish. But to be honest, I just haven't been feeling the greatest still since the end of last week, and I've really been just trying to take it easy because I do need to go back to work tomorrow. And like last night, for example, after I went out for dinner for my mum's birthday, and I didn't feel too bad when I got home, but then like later in the evening from kind of like 9:30, I felt so awful. Like, I was feeling really sick. I had a pain in my stomach that I had most of yesterday, and then I've just had a really bad headache still. The headache is still like lingering. And yeah, so I just hasn't been feeling the greatest. So I've done a few things, but I've just been spending a lot of time lying on my bed. And it's always really snuggly to lie on my bed in the day, because Winnie is definitely a very nocturnal cat. She likes to spend a lot of time curled up sleeping. I mean, she's a cat, so she spends a lot of time sleeping generally, but particularly in the day. And then in the evening, she spends a lot more time in the front window. So basically from when she gets fed her dinner, that's when she's like active, most active. So anyway, it's always very pleasant to spend Sunday like during the day and Saturday during the day, like lying on my bed, and then because she like curls up next to you or on you or right near you, and it's very snuggly and I love it. So while I've got a few things done, I have also got quite a bit of reading done, I think. I can't remember where I was up to in the Night Circus when I spoke to you guys yesterday, but I'm currently on page 326. So I've made really decent progress. I don't think that I'll get this read tonight. I would love to get this finished tonight. I've got about 170 pages left. So I don't think I'll get it done tonight, but I think that I'm going to be able to put myself in a really good position to finish this tomorrow. So that's kind of my aim, because then I should be able to finish this tomorrow and also finish the audiobook that I was listening to last week tomorrow. So that's kind of what I'm hoping. Still really loving this. The writing is just really the main standout in this. It's so beautiful. Like I kind of touched on yesterday, technically the story could be described as quite slow, but I don't care that it's slow, because we're just getting such rich details about the world and about the circus and about all of the different like aspects to it and everything, and it is just so beautiful. So really, really enjoying this. I will get through some more of this tonight. I'm about to head to dinner at my parents' place, which is why I'm filming this clip now. I haven't changed the kitty litter yet this weekend, so I wanted to film this and then change the kitty litter, feed the cat, and head to my parents. So I will get some more read like this evening and stuff, but like I said, I don't think I'll read it. My kind of aim is that maybe if I read like another 100 pages, because I typically don't get a lot read on Mondays, because I doubt I'll get anything read while I'm at work, particularly because I will be catching up from having had 2 days off. And then also I have knitting on Monday nights, and I've been getting home quite late from that. So if I read like 100 pages, that tonight I should have about 70 pages, which is doable for me to read tomorrow night before I go to bed, if that's my only reading tomorrow. So very excited to read this. And who knows, maybe I'll get so engrossed in the ending of this that I will end up flying through it. Who could say? So I think that's it for this clip. I'm going to go because, like I said, I've got those. It's already just after 5, and I try to be at my parents' place by like no later than 5:30, which is in like 20 minutes. My parents live literally 2 minutes from me, but I've got a couple of things, like I said, to do before I can leave. So that's it. I'll talk to you guys when I get home from work. Back to work tomorrow, like I said. Blech. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys when I get home from work tomorrow. Bye, guys. Hi, guys. It is 5:46 p.m. on Monday, the 26th of November. I was home again today, so my headache basically turned. I've got some kind of virus. I've obviously been fighting it off for a while. As I've mentioned in the earlier clips, I haven't been feeling well for like the last 4 or 5 days. My headache is still ever present. And I've been feeling, like, I wasn't feeling overly well. I mentioned like on Saturday night and like yesterday, and then like today I felt kind of feverish and stuff as well, and I've just been feeling kind of sick, just generally. Headaches there, just not feeling good. No matter what, I'm going back to work tomorrow unless I'm like legit on my deathbed, because like I can't afford to take any more days off work, both in terms of just workloads, and I don't have any like sick leave, and I already have Monday, like the following Monday, like next Monday off of annual leave, because my friend Emma is coming to Adelaide for the weekend. So I need to cram in as much work as I can in these next 4 days. Luckily, there hasn't been too much going on, that things have stayed, like a few more things have come in, like at work, like I've been monitoring kind of my emails a little bit, and like a few things have kind of come in, but it hasn't been too much, so I'm hoping that I'm not going to be like too crazy behind. But yeah, so I'm filming this clip now. I've got a doctor's appointment, actually, that I need to leave for in about 10 minutes, so I thought I'd film this clip before I leave. Like, I literally have not left my bedroom barely in like the last 5 days, except for like I went out to dinner on Saturday night, and I went to my parents' place for dinner, but apart from like literally those like 2 like dinners, I haven't really left my bedroom. Like I haven't even been like going out into the lounge room. Normally, like if I'd been sick, I would have been watching like some movies and stuff, but I've literally been sleeping so much. I'm kind of annoyed that this doctor's appointment is at this time, because I couldn't get an appointment during the day, so I had to take one of the after hours appointments, which is annoying, one, because it's going to cost a little bit more, but that's fine, and 2, because I really just want to go to sleep, but in a way it's probably a good thing, because I definitely need to stay awake now until like a normal bedtime, so that I'm not like totally fucked in terms of sleep tomorrow. Because tomorrow is going to be, like, I just know tomorrow is going to be such a struggle. I'm already feeling kind of stressed about, like, work tomorrow, if you know what I mean. So hopefully I'm feeling a lot better tomorrow. I'll see what the doctor has to say. I'm sure I'm just fighting a virus. Anyway, so yeah, I haven't been watching any movies and stuff. The one thing I have been doing is reading a bit, and I'm surprised that I haven't been reading like a huge amount, but any kind of reading during the day is more than I generally get done when I'm at work, as you guys know, or has been of late. So like that's good, but yeah, it's just, oh, and I've just lost my train of thought because my brain isn't working that great. Yeah, so I've been reading a little bit more, so I've been getting through like books a little bit quicker than I have been lately, which is great. And I'm surprised, like I said, that I've been managing to get as much read as I have, because I have had this like persistent headache. But it's not the type of headache where I can't read with it. Like, it doesn't really seem to be affected by that. It's just a constant headache. I don't know how to explain it. Anyway, so reading update. I, again, haven't continued on with that audiobook because I haven't been at work. Like I said, definitely going back tomorrow, so I'll be listening to that then. I did read ended up finishing this last night. So when I was going to bed, I only had about 50 pages to go, and I was like, I'm just gonna read through to the end of this because I was loving it so much. I gave this 5 stars, you guys. You guys know that I'm a stingy bitch when it comes to 5-star ratings, but I really, really, really enjoyed this. I did read, as I always do, as I mentioned, read some of the more negative or like mediocre reviews on Goodreads. And the complaints that people had about this for the negative reviews that they are, because this is pretty popular, I can kind of see where people are coming from, but none of those things were things that I experienced. Like, I can see how it could be a thing for other people, but for me it wasn't. Like, a lot of people said that it's so much about the world that for them the characters were lacking, whereas for me, I found that the world is so rich and the characters are so much a part of that world that it all connected. For me, I have discovered, well, not discovered, I've always kind of known this about myself, but I very much have been realizing how much of an atmosphere reader I am. I really need my books, I don't need it, but I really enjoy when my books have a really great sense of atmosphere, and this book has it in spades. This is whimsical without ever veering into like silly or like twee kind of whimsy. Very like fairy tale whimsical-esque, but in a rich way. It's a really bad descriptor. I also always thought, I should mention, I always thought that this was YA. And this isn't YA. It's not that it's particularly adult or anything, but the book does span quite a period of time. The characters are only teenagers, like for a very short period, like in the middle. It starts from, like I said, we follow quite a long period of time. So this is definitely not YA. It's just like adult literary type fiction with fantastical, magical realism type vibes. Highly recommend. Really, really, really enjoyed. Like I said, I gave that 5 stars. So I finished that last night. And then today I started my next read, which is The Wrath and the Dawn by Renee Ardier. This is for those of you who don't know, this is a YA fantasy duology. This is the first book, and we both basically follow a character named Shahrazad, so it's in this fantasy world where there is a king, and every day he marries a new bride, and by dawn of the following day, the bride is dead. And Shahrazad volunteers to be his new bride because her best friend was one of the brides that he has taken over however long he's been doing it, and that he has been murdered and has died. And so she volunteers to be his next bride because she wants to take revenge. That's the basic premise. I think it does say in the synopsis, it's basically then about her. So it's kind of an Arabian Nights or 101 Arabian Nights, like retelling. It does deal with her basically telling stories to the king and leaving it on kind of like a cliffhanger type of thing to keep him interested so that he doesn't kill her night after night. And then it's obviously ultimately about discovering what's going on in this world, why are these women being killed, yada, yada, yada. So I am on page, and this is just a duology. I don't know if I mentioned that. I enjoy duologies. I just really like the succinct kind of stuff that you get with books in a duology. I quite enjoy that typically. I'm on page 140, so I've read 140 pages today. This is, it looks like it's like kind of a big book, but the font is not, ooh, almost dropped it. I don't want to go too far back into the book just in case. Like, the font is like not like tiny or anything, and the spacing's like kind of, so it's pretty easy like to get through, and it looks big, but the story is actually like less than 400 pages. So I'm predicting that I can get, like, I'm already that far of the way through, I'm predicting that I can probably get halfway through this tonight. I don't know if I'm enjoying this yet. I'm finding the story almost a little bit confusing. Like, there's some like different things going on, and it also is set, it doesn't specifically say where it's set, but it is in some kind of Middle Eastern type of setting, I believe. And sorry, so it's 1001 Nights is the retelling. It says on the back if I had bothered to look. So it's set in a Middle Eastern type setting, so all of the names, like the character names, are not like white names, which sounds awful for me to say. Like, it's definitely a white privilege thing, and I recognize that, but it's the same as when I've read books set in like Asian countries. And it's nothing against, it's not anything I would ever dock points for or anything. It's just that I, as a Caucasian Australian reader, struggle with those names in remembering because they're not names that I'm familiar with. To me, a lot of them sound quite similar, that when I hear the names for the not as much for the main characters because they're in the story so much, but for the more like side characters, I'm quite often have to pause for a minute when I'm reading and think, okay, who are you? And then that sometimes takes me out of the story a little bit. So that's definitely a thing in this. But it's not just that, it's that there's like all kinds of like stuff going on and I don't really understand what's going on. And I'm not sure if it's all going to kind of tie together in a way that I go, oh, that was really clever and I'm enjoying it, or if it's just one of those stories where I'm like, it was kind of confusing and I don't really understand why. If that makes sense. Like, I'm not like confused, like I get it, but it's just, it's written in a confusing way, I think. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see as I go through this whether I end up, because this was a book that when I first heard this described, for some reason, and I don't know why because it's not my typical thing, that I just had this feeling that I was going to love this book. Like, it was one of those books that as soon as when this was very, very popular, when this came out, which was years ago now, I was like, I am going to love that. I have to buy it. And obviously I did, and then it's taken me a million years to get to, as is typical for me. But yeah, so I'm interested to see like what ends up happening and whether I end up enjoying this. And if I don't end up enjoying it, at least it's just a duology. So, because I do own both the books, obviously. So yeah, 140 pages through this. Like I said, I imagine that I'm probably going to get halfway through that tonight. Just checking on time. I need to leave in like a couple of minutes. So that is about it. I think that's a reading update. Like I said, off to the doctor now. I might pick up some dinner. I haven't had a super appetite because I haven't been feeling the greatest. But I'm like, maybe I should like treat myself and like pick up some dinner on the way home and maybe watch a movie, because I haven't been, like, I've got so much reading done that I can maybe take a bit of a break from reading and like watch a movie and then go to bed and really like prepare myself mentally for going back to work tomorrow. So yeah, I think that's it for this clip, and I will check in with you guys when I get home from work tomorrow. Bye guys. Hi guys, it is 5:30 p.m. exactly on Tuesday the 27th of November. It is actually my mother's birthday today, so happy birthday, Mum. You don't watch these videos, but happy birthday anyway. So in a shocking plot twist, I actually was out of work again today. When I saw my doctor last night, she basically said that I had a viral gastro bug, and that she wanted me to take today off as well. 1, to recuperate, but 2, also to make sure that I was no longer contagious, because as I'm sure you guys know, gastrointestinal bugs are like contagious as fuck. And I'm actually really glad that ended up happening, because last night, I think because of all the sleep that I had, I could not sleep. I was tired, but it was one of those nights where I could not get comfortable. I actually got up around midnight, like 12:30 in the morning, and made myself a cup of like sleep tea. Tried that. That didn't work. I was still awake, and I didn't end up falling asleep until around 4:30 in the morning. And my alarm goes off at 6:10 for work. So if I had to literally actually get up and go to work after that less than 2 hours of sleep, I probably would have died. But I'm really proud of myself today, because I ensured that I had one nap today for about an hour and a half, to ensure that I am going to be able to go to sleep as normal today. I actually feel pretty good today. Like good. My headache is a lot lessened. I've been really focusing on keeping my fluids up, all of that type of thing, and I just feel much improved. I'm definitely on the upswing, because even though yesterday I was saying I was going to go back to work today, I was still feeling pretty awful. So I'm glad today that I actually feel better. I did a couple of hours of work this afternoon even to try to catch up on all of my emails and things, because I had like so many unread emails, and it was making me really anxious every time because my emails come up on my phone, my work ones as well, and every time that number of like unread emails would go up, the little red number in the thing, it was making me so anxious. So I went through those. So I feel like I'm in a much better position to go back to work tomorrow. Like I said, and I'm not feeling as completely terrible. which is really, really great. And so I didn't even end up picking up dinner last night because obviously I had a gastrointestinal bug. I hadn't been really eating, and if anything, you should avoid like greasy, fatty foods as well, obviously. So, but tonight I'm actually really excited to eat dinner. Like, I'm just excited to have some dinner. So I think that's a good sign too for like me feeling better. And I don't know, I just feel like you can probably tell in this clip I feel a lot more chipper than what I have done in the past few clips. So anyway, that is kind of the update on what's going on in my life. So on to the reading update. So I ended up, last night I read a decent chunk of, this is such an awkward angle. I read a decent chunk of The Wrath and the Dawn. I then read a couple of chapters when I woke up, when I made that sleep tea, before I like turned off my light again and tried to convince myself I was going to be able to go back to sleep. So I read a decent chunk of this last night. I then finished this today. So I've actually finished this now. I finished this just a little while ago. I haven't started anything else yet. I'll pick up probably, I think my next book is going to be my backlist Kindle book. But I'll probably pick up that like later tonight, and then I'll be able to talk to you guys about that tomorrow. So, finish this. I didn't really like it. I really wanted to like this. Like I mentioned yesterday, when I first heard about this, I thought this was going to be something that I really, really liked. I didn't really like it. I thought the world, the setting is really good. I quite like the writing style. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I liked that I can think of. That's probably about it. The romance is super insta-lovey. There is some kind of cheating issues as well, I think, that aren't ever really addressed. There is a romance to do with some side characters that just, I didn't understand what the point of it was, why it was even in the story. The magical parts of this fantasy world are super underdeveloped. I presume that that's going to come up more in the second book, but in this, super, super underdeveloped. This has massive trope of like men trying to save women, even though the women don't want to be saved or don't need to be saved. And I hate that. It was just, I feel like characters were kind of villainized towards the end without it ever, like, it didn't make sense. Like, it wasn't warranted, in my opinion. And then also, nothing really happens in this book. This book is almost 400 pages, and we get the 1001 Nights part in the start. That's really only the very start of the novel where she's telling a couple of stories. That then kind of peters out, and then you tell me what happened after that. I couldn't tell you because nothing happens. So I'm giving this, I think, a 2.75 star, because a 2.5 seems harsh. So I think a 2.75 star, which would be rounded up to a 3 on Goodreads. Please ignore how disgustingly dirty my hair is. Yeah, I was very disappointed in this, to the point where, if I'm being completely honest, if I didn't already own the second book in the duology, I probably wouldn't even bother to pick it up. But I do already own it. I've spent the money on it, and it is just a duology, so once I've read that, I will have finished it, and I'm hoping that there's going to be a lot more development in that book, because gosh darn does it need it. And this has, I have like 60 to 70 friends, I think it was, on Goodreads who have read this book. The majority of them have rated it 5 stars. This is quite popular. There are a few like lower ratings, or like ratings around the kind of level that I've rated it at, but I don't get it. I'm not sure what it was in this that people really, really loved, because I think that so much of this was super underdeveloped. That's my opinion anyway. So, yeah, I'm really disappointed in this. So hopefully the second book. And I feel like I heard the people who loved the first book, I feel like maybe I heard some negative-ish things about the second book. So that doesn't fill me with hope. So, yeah, finished that. Obviously haven't continued on with the audiobook because I haven't been at work. And like I said, I will be starting probably a backlist Kindle book tonight. That I'll be able to talk to you guys about tomorrow. So hopefully I've got a couple of things to talk to you guys about tomorrow. And I think that's it for this clip. Hopefully we have a few more upbeat, nice clips. I also haven't done any video. So I basically just decided that right off the rest of November for any kind of video uploading, that I'm just really going to focus on the vlogs. Having said that, I still haven't uploaded the vlog from before this, haven't even started editing it. I don't know whether I'm going to be able to do that tonight, or whether I'll focus on that tomorrow and then just kind of upload that vlog and then this vlog at the on the night of the 30th, which is Friday night, and then start anew with really trying to keep on top of uploading and do my normal regular uploads and stuff for December. That's kind of what I'm thinking at this point, because I just fell so far behind with what I wanted to do, and obviously I just really haven't been up to feeling up to filming. So yeah, that is it, I think, for this clip. I will talk to you guys when I get home from work. For real. I feel like I sound like a broken record. Like every single day I've been like, oh, I'll talk to you when I get home from work, like in the next clip, and then I just don't go to work. I am going to work tomorrow. I'm out of doctor certificates. I definitely can't afford to have any more time off, like definitely. And like I said, my doctor's fine for me to go back tomorrow. I feel a lot better, so I'm going back tomorrow. So yeah, that is it for this clip. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys. Hi, guys. It is 6:48 p.m. on Wednesday, the 28th of November. Look who has moved out of her bedroom. I know, it's crazy. So I made it to work today. Pat on the back for me. I was feeling a lot better today. Work really did exhaust me because it's so funny how just a few days off from work, and obviously just because I'm still recovering from being sick as well, I guess, how just those few days can exhaust you so completely. Anyway, I survived, and I had physio straight after work, so that's why I'm filming this clip a little bit later than I normally do. So, reading update. So, last night, I started an ebook, my Kindle backlist book. You can see Winifred stretching. You wanna come say hi? No, she does not. So I started my Kindle backlist book. So this is called, oh, she does want to come say hi. Hi. Okay, bye. She wants to go sit in the window. Surprise, surprise. So the Kindle backlist book is called, sorry, I'm just pulling it up on my phone. I keep wanting to put an extra word in the title for some reason. So it's called Touching Freedom by Surin Huckabean. I am probably butchering that, and I apologize. So I read about 30% of it last night, and because it's not super long, I think it's only about 270 pages, like the actual copy if you had it, and I wasn't enjoying it, and I really considered DNFing it. But then I was like, no, because I DNF'd the last Kindle backlist book that I read, and I was kind of intrigued on the plot, like not really, but I was like, oh, I could like, maybe like care enough about it. Am I zoomed? I feel like my face is really close to the viewfinder. I was. That I could maybe, oh shit. So I literally just got a text reminder about my blood donation appointment tomorrow that I meant to cancel, and I must remember to do that as soon as I finish filming this clip because I've got boxing tomorrow, so they're going to clash. Anyway, unrelated, you guys don't care about that. I wanted to cancel that and reschedule it because I haven't been able to donate in ages because my iron went really low, and this is the first appointment that I've made to donate since then, but I forgot it was going to clash with boxing, so I need to reschedule it for a day, probably a Friday, because they seem to be my only free nights. Anyway, you guys don't care about that. So I really wasn't enjoying it, and I DNF'd the other book, and I was like kind of a semi-intrigued, and I was like, oh, I'm just going to like keep pushing through and kind of see how I go. So then today on the bus, and of course I didn't bring my Kindle. My Kindle is still in my backpack, so I can't tell you exactly how far through I got, but I read a little bit more on the bus on the way home from work. So I think I'm like 41%-ish. I'll put the percentage that I got to on the screen. And I was just like, no, I can't do it. I've got to DNF this. Like there's so many books that I want to get read before the end of the year that I just don't want to waste time on a book that I'm not enjoying. So this is it's described as being YA, like it's shelved as YA on Goodreads, but the book the characters are 22 and 26, so I would classify that as more new adult, if not adult. And it's basically about these two people who go to an international youth meeting, and they meet there, and the synopsis basically describes it as being like that the female character sees the male character as immediately infatuated, but in order for them to have this great romance, she has to confront his dark mysteriousness. I don't really know. Something along those lines. First off, I don't understand why this male character is at the international youth meeting, because it seems to be for people who are in like from like 17 to 22. He's 26. It seems too old to be going to an international youth meeting, in my opinion. Then on top of that, the writing is really, really bad. And I hate saying that because, like, who am I to judge? But it's very clearly to me, and again, I'm making an assumption here, and if I'm incorrect, I apologize, but it seems very clear to me that this is written by someone who English is not their first language. The sentence construction, particularly when it comes to dialogue, but just generally, is really, really bad. The dialogue is so awkward, so clunky. It's just not how people speak, but in a very like way that it would be if like for someone who maybe doesn't speak English. Like, for example, there was a sentence spoken that I'm paraphrasing, but it was something along the lines of, "Oh yeah, that would be really romanticism." And I was like, "You mean romantic? That would be really romantic, not romanticism." So I was like, kind of like, oh, I kind of want to see what the go is with this guy and like what his dark mysteriousness, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be disappointed by whatever that is. And the female character is like infatuated with him, and he is being kind of a dick to her, but seems like in his mind like he's infatuated with her, but then he's also banging this other girl from the international youth meeting like at the same time, and I was just like, I wasn't really down for that either, so I just really wasn't liking it. So I think I read about 40% of it, and I was just like, I'm not going to keep going. So there's that. I then finally finished the audiobook that I started last week. So the audiobook is The Bookshop of Yesterdays by Amy, I think it's Amy Meyerson. Allow me to confirm that. One moment, please. I swear, my phone knows when I'm trying to look at something because I want to say something, and it goes really slow. So it's The Bookshop of Yesterdays by Amy Meyerson. And this, I haven't spoken about it in this vlog because I started it so long ago now. This is a kind of literary fiction that's about a woman who, or like she's in like her early 20s, mid 20s, who, when she was 12, backtrack. She's got an uncle, and her uncle was the type of person who, like, when she was growing up, he would create all these scavenger hunts for her, and, you know, she was like, they were really close. However, her mum and her uncle had this massive fight when she was like 12 years old, and her uncle basically disappeared from her life. And it's now like 20 years later, not 20 years, 15 years later, I don't know, I can't remember how old she is. It's however many years later, and her uncle has just died. And he leaves to her the bookshop that he owned. He also, however, leaves for her one final scavenger hunt, and she hasn't spoken to him in like forever. And basically it's all about her trying to solve this scavenger hunt and trying to basically find out what the fight was between her mum and her uncle, like what happened, because her mum won't talk about it, and why he left her life, yada, yada, yada. I didn't like this book. The scavenger hunt part of it was enjoyable. That's kind of parts of it. That's kind of the one thing that I kind of enjoyed about it. The premise and all that is like enjoyable. It's super predictable. Like, I could have, like, literally from the get-go, I was like, well, it's going to be this. And it was super predictable in my opinion. The main character, I could not stand. I really, 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 hi baby. I really, really, really didn't like her. And it's not one of those books where the main character, don't you bite me, where what the main character is supposed to be unlikable, because, when I've read, because when the main character is supposed to be unlikable, or, you know, I don't mind it so much, but it was just one of those cases, she was selfish, super self-absorbed, and kind of a dick. There's also cheating, so if you're a person who doesn't like cheating, because cheating is not like a deal breaker for me. I know it is for a couple of other people that I watch. They mention that. So you guys who, if you're watching this, don't pick up this book. But it's not like a deal breaker for me. But in this book, because I already didn't like the main character, and then like there's a cheating aspect to it, and I was just like, ugh! And then in her like inner monologue kind of while that's going on, the justification that she makes, I was just like, oh, it was infuriating. So that really annoyed me. And then this book is like, I don't know how long it is because I listened to it on audio, but not a lot happens, quite frankly. So I think I gave that 2.5 stars. Because like I said, the scavenger hunt part and her trying to solve the scavenger hunt clues, that was like fairly enjoyable, but everything else didn't really like. So there's that. So that's basically all I've really read. I am planning to pick up, so tonight, I've got nothing else going on for the rest of tonight. I'm just about to edit, because I still haven't done it, edit the vlog from before this, because I need to get that up ASAP, because I still need to get up this vlog that I'm filming right now before the end of the month, and the end of the month is in only a couple of days. So I need to get that edited and uploaded tonight, so that's, and then I'll probably try to edit as much of this vlog as I can as well. So I've got a lot of editing to do, but I will be picking up The Rose and the Dagger by Renee Ardier. So I'm not super excited about this because, as you guys know from this vlog, I didn't super love the first book, and Mel actually messaged me about this because she saw that I was reading it and asked me how I liked it, and I said, ugh, I didn't really like it, and she really liked the first book, but she did not like the second book. And like, I think I mentioned that in my clip that I'd heard really mediocre reviews of book 2, and I already didn't like book 1, so I'm kind of nervous about this. It is also longer, like a lot longer than not like a lot longer, but it's like, this one's over 400 pages. Not that super long, and it was really easy and quick to read, but yeah, I'm not super enthused about this, but I want to finish the duology and see what my kind of final thoughts are on it. So, and who knows, maybe I'll enjoy it. And I didn't hate the first book. There were things in the first book that I enjoyed. I don't want it to seem like it was a terrible book, because it wasn't. So hopefully there's some things in this that I can enjoy, and maybe I'll enjoy this one. Maybe I'll be the reverse of Mel and I'll really like this second one. Who knows? So yeah, I think that's it for this clip. I will talk to you guys when I get home from work tomorrow. I'll probably start a new audiobook tomorrow as well, so I'll be able to talk to you guys about that and about my initial thoughts on this. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye guys. Hi guys, it is 5:31 p.m. on Thursday the 29th of November. I just got home from work. Not a whole lot new or exciting to report. I've got boxing. What did I just do to my hair? I've got boxing tonight, so that's going to take up a chunk of my night, so not sure how much reading I'll get done. I did manage to edit and set to upload overnight my previous vlog, and I edited the first couple of clips of this vlog, so I want to finish editing as much of this vlog as I've got filmed when I get home from boxing. That shouldn't take too long, so that I'm in a really good position to just finalize the edits on that and export it and upload this vlog tomorrow night. Yeah, so that's kind of what's going on. So now on to a reading update. So when I spoke to you guys yesterday, I mentioned that I was going to move on to The Rose and the Dagger by Renee Ardier. So last night I read 120 pages of this. I was on just over page 120 last night when I went to bed. And I've actually read today, excuse me, I read today on both the bus to and from work. So I read about another 80 pages, so I'm currently on page 207, so I'm like kind of bang on halfway. So I'm really pleased to have got halfway in this already, and I'm hoping that I will manage to get a little bit more of this read tonight once I get home from boxing and have finished editing that video, that I can maybe read like another 100, or maybe not, I don't know, we'll see, that I can get a little bit more of this read tomorrow. I'd love to get this finished tomorrow, like for the end of the month, but I'm not sure that it's gonna happen, but we'll see. So yeah, making decent progress in this. I'm kind of just okay with it. I have probably pretty similar feelings on it now to the feelings that I had on The Wrath and the Dawn, but I'm kind of reserving judgment until I see like what happens in the end and how it ends up, to see whether I like enjoy this or not, basically. So there is that. I also started a new audiobook today. I started an audiobook called Cursed. No, I don't think that's what it's called. Is it? Let me just check. I'm now completely doubting myself that that is what that book is called. it wasn't called Curse. I don't know where I pulled that from. It's called Reborn by C.C. Hunter. This is the first book in the Shadow Falls After Dark series. So Shadow Falls, it's a spin-off series of Shadow Falls. Shadow Falls was, I think, a 5 or 6 book series that I read 2 years ago, something like that. And I didn't even know that there was a spin-off series, but I saw this book on the audiobook on my library's like audiobook app, and when I looked it up I realized that it was a spin-off, and I was like, oh well, I read that series, so I'm going to check it out. So the Shadow Falls series was basically about, it's set at a kind of boarding school camp. It's basically a boarding school, but it's set up like a camp, but it's for supernatural teenagers. And so in this series, we're following a different character to the one that we followed in the other series, but it's still set at Shadow Falls, at that same camp / boarding school, whatever. It's definitely very, so it's YA, it's paranormal, it's very kind of juvenile in a way. It's got a few things in there that I like for example, periods were mentioned, which is like hardly ever referenced in books, particularly in YA, and that was reference which I liked. But it's very like tropey YA, like just very tropey. So like it's like enjoyable but very tropey, and like not anything like totally amazing. And it seems like it's going to be just very on par with the books in the Shadow Falls series itself. Like for example, like it just does things that I'm like, why is this necessary? So the main character that we're following in this one, in the original series, it was kind of left off at the end that there was this main kind of love interest person for that character. And then now, of course, that we're following this character on their own, we have to have a second a second love interest introduced, because of course we've got to have a love triangle. And a love triangle was a massive, massive part of the first series as well. So I'm kind of hoping that they don't drag it out across the whole series the way that it was with the Shadow Falls series, but I think it's a distinct possibility. I think this series is 4 books. So I'm 44% of the way through that. I say I'm enjoying it okay, but it's definitely nothing amazing. And I'll just kind of probably pick up the other books in the series, because I think my library has all 4 on audio, so I'll probably pick them up, you know, as they become like kind of available, and if I don't have anything else, because my library's really, like over the past like month or two, hasn't really been getting much new stuff in. So hopefully they seem to go through like peaks and troughs with the getting in of new books. My library will go through a couple of months where they'll get very little in, and then all of a sudden it'll just be like so much will have come in, not like come in, but like they will have got new stuff, like so much new stuff. So yeah, anyway, that is about it I think for the reading update. Halfway through this and almost halfway through the audiobook, and I'm really hoping to get that audiobook finished. The audiobook isn't super long. I should have got over halfway through it today, but I just kept forgetting to listen to it when I was at work. I would have got up to do something and then be sitting down and be working away, and then realize, oh, I'm not listening to my audiobook. So I haven't listened to as much of it as I normally would. So yeah, that is it, I think. I will talk to you guys when I get home from work tomorrow. Bye, guys. Hi, cutie. Hi. Hi. Hi guys, it is 6:33 p.m. on Friday the 30th of November. So I got home from work. I literally just got home from work, so I'm home quite a bit later today than I normally am. I ended up having to work a little bit late, and then when I did leave, I ended up not getting the bus. I ended up coming home with my brother's girlfriend. She works at the same firm that I do, and so she drove me home, but traffic was atrocious. So I literally just got home like 5 minutes ago and fed the cat, and now I'm quickly filming this update because I want to upload this vlog tonight. So I still need to edit a couple of clips, including this one obviously, and then get it exported and still uploaded tonight. So that is the plan for this evening. It is the weekend finally. I have quite a lot going on this weekend, which obviously you guys will see or hear a lot more about in the next vlog for December, the first one for December. But my friend Emma is coming to Adelaide tomorrow, which I'm really, really excited about. So tomorrow morning I'll be going to coffee and stuff as usual, but I'm going to dinner tomorrow night with Emma and her husband, and then Sunday Emma and Ian are here like for a UFC event, so they'll be going to that, so I won't see them on Sunday. And then Monday I've got the day off work and I'm meeting Emma for brunch, and we might do some shopping and such as well before she flies out on Monday afternoon. I'm really excited to get to see Emma and spend get to spend some of the weekend with her. Really excited about that. So reading update. So I finished the audiobook today of Cursed by Cece. Not Cursed. Did I just call it Cursed? What? I did that yesterday. Why in my head is this book called Cursed? It's called Reborn by Cece Hunter. So I don't really know how to rate this. I definitely don't enjoy this type of writing the way that I did, even though it was only a couple of years ago when I read it. I definitely feel like I've progressed as a reader so much past. I still enjoy like paranormal, YA, like romancy type stuff, all of that type of thing. But this feels very juvenile to me in the writing, and it's just very, very, very tropey. Like there's a lot going on in this, like, with the, I'm trying to think of examples of the type of thing. Like right at the beginning of the book, the new male character who's like appeared goes through her backpack for whatever reason, and so she refers to him like constantly basically throughout the rest of the book as the panty perv, and I'm just like, and it started to grate on me so much. It was also, at one point I thought the author was trying to be quite sex positive, but really the message that she's sending pretty consistently is that sex is only, like, you should only really be having sex with someone that you're completely in love with and that you think is like the one. And like, while that might be the case for some people, that's not the case for everyone, and not everyone wants to only have sex with people who they think is like their one true love for forever. So I don't necessarily agree with that type of message in there either. It's also very, like, the love triangle is like real super cringe, and the main character gets really annoying too, as is quite typical a lot of the times of this genre, of like just making such stupid decisions, or not necessarily stupid decisions, but like not consulting anyone. Like, she's got adults in her life who are super supportive, but does she ever go to them to say, look, this is going on, can you give me some advice? No, instead she just does stuff which the reader, or at least a 30-year-old reader reading it, goes, clearly that is not the correct decision or the correct way to handle this situation. And it is so frustrating to read. So yeah, I didn't super love, I don't really know. I'll put my rating. No, well, it's going to be literally in like an hour, so I should just tell you what I'm going to rate it. I don't know. I haven't even looked at reviews. Like, literally, I finished this book not long before I left work, the audiobook. So I haven't read any other reviews. My rating isn't going to be high. Maybe like a 3-star. I'm probably going to just give it 3 stars. There's nothing wrong with it, per se, but it's definitely not good. It might be like a 2.75. I'm trying to think, actually, while I've got you guys, let's quickly look into the previous books by this author and see what I rated, because I feel like I definitely enjoyed the previous series more. Yeah, I gave the first book 4 stars in the first series. I do feel like they went downhill because there's a love triangle in that series, and over the course of like the 5 or 6 books or whatever it is in that series, it did start to feel very drawn out, if I recall. I'm just checking. I gave all the first 3 4 stars, it looks like. I gave the book 4 4.25 stars. And I just feel like if you compared that to books that I'm giving 4.25 stars now, I've always been a fairly stingy reader, but I feel like I'm getting, I don't know, in my grumpy old age, I'm getting even more stingy with my ratings. 4 stars to book 5. Oh, and that's the last book. There were 5. So I gave 4 or 4.25 stars to every book in the first series. And I feel like reading it, it feels very similar to the other books, and I'm now thinking like a 2.75. So if that's any indication of how my kind of reading, I guess, has progressed. Like, I still enjoy YA. I still read a lot of YA. This is just very tropey. And I think as well that maybe it is just partly because I've read that series, and this feels pretty much like we're retreading the ground that we already had over a 5-book series. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on that. I am also still reading The Rose and the Dagger by Renee Ardier. I didn't get any of this read today. I thought I was going to get some read on the way home on the bus, but of course I didn't end up catching the bus. But I did read some last night, so I'm currently on page 294. Winifred, do not do that. Yes, you know that you're not allowed. So I'm on page 294, so I've got about 120, 130 pages left in this. So I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to get this done tonight. I don't think I have anything going on tonight. My sister sometimes comes around on a Friday, but I haven't heard from her. So I don't think that that's happening. So once I finish editing the vlog, I got nothing but free time ahead of me tonight. So yeah, I think that's it for this clip and for this vlog. So I'll see you guys in the outro. Bye guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed this final reading vlog for November. I would love to chat with you guys in the comments down below how your reading month ended up for the end of November. How did you guys do? I would love to know. Please like this video if you liked it. Please subscribe if you want to see more from my channel. That is all I have for this video today. Bye guys.